Hello and good evening, everyone. I don't know, I haven't opened the chat yet, so I'm sorry. I need to see if somebody already said hello. Welcome to you all. It's a pleasure streaming CtrlC for you with you today. Let me just check. The green screen setup is a little bit off just now. Looks better. Okay, great. So I hope the volumes are okay for you. Let me just quickly check. So this is really live, you know, you're experiencing this really live, so that makes it a bit more complex. Otherwise I could have prepared everything and made everything pixel perfect and sound perfect. This is live, so you can interact. And I'm just opening the chat. I rebooted everything right before the stream. So yeah. So we don't end up with how do you say? We don't end up with stuttering or delays because I had that many things open. Sorry, I'm just switching back to the preparation scene because I'm checking the chat. I don't know if everything is perfect to show here, so let me just quickly bring that up, and I am immediately back with you. So let me see. Let me get back to this scene. So I'm working on getting the chat ready. Sorry for the small delay in that context, but we're getting there. This is the first time I'm streaming live on Steam, by the way, so please don't be mad at me for the initial trial and error phase. So I think I should have the Steam chat open now. I guess that's correct. Looks good. Looks good. Amazing. Okay, guys, and yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not a native English speaker, so I'm you know, sometimes I may get stuck. Please forgive me. I usually stream in German, and I do that on Twitch, so please forgive me if I'm not perfectly fluent or like when I get stuck at some places. So today I'm going to show you, this is like, I don't know, maybe you've come across this event via the Steamfest event announcement, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you were just on this page, you just came across CtrlC, maybe from like a social media post. So you're very welcome. Please ask any questions you may have. Let me know how you like the game. Do you have feedback? Do you have anything that you'd I don't know, like to have included? So it's going to be published pretty soon. Like, I have an internal date in mind that's going to be in a few weeks. I'm not that confident that it's going to work, that I have shared it online yet, but we're getting closer. If you like, I'm sorry, usually, you know, I stream in German, so I have a German Twitch channel, Andarian Live, where I usually stream twice per week. I had to take a break for a while now, but I'll get back to that very soon, probably like the coming week. It's just going to be in German, so for the German speakers or those who are really only interested in somebody coding, you're very welcome to join. You see, this is like my first full English stream, so please be patient with me. Okay, so Andarian Games is my company. It's actually like a one-man show, just as this stream is. I'm trying my best to build a game that I really enjoyed already as a child. Actually, it's a remake, CtrlC. It didn't have that name. It had no name. It was just called Autorennen, which is like car race, which is a very generic name, as you see. So this is what that game was originally called when I played it as a kid. It was like a school project, actually, that my father with a colleague and some pupils made at school, and I really enjoyed playing that as a kid. So this is the background, and like I played it when I was, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 years old, on our Tandy Radio Shack Tandy TRS-80 Model 3, I think. Unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. I would love to have that PC, to have the original source code printouts. That would be amazing, but I think we don't have that anymore. It's really a pity. Otherwise, that would be so nice to show here. If I ever find it, and if there is a copy still left, then I'm definitely going to share it. I just fear that it was like lost long ago. So this is like the second time I remade this, actually. So the first like remake that I made of this, like I said, homebrew game was back at school. I wrote that in Turbo Pascal. I don't know who of you may be, I don't know, like into coding. So that's, yeah, it's an old-fashioned language. I think that's fair to say. And it's not the tool chain that you would choose for a game even back then, but it was like a nice, I don't know, a nice try. So I really enjoyed that. And actually I made an editor, and many of the elements, you'll see that in like shortly when I started, many of the elements that we still see in today's version actually originate from that old version that I made at school, because they were stored in a different format, but they were already that similar that I could just copy them over. That was, yeah, that was pretty cool already. I didn't have these active elements. I'll show you in a bit, so don't yeah, well, we will see that immediately. I'll probably keep talking as we go. Just let me quickly share one small announcement on Twitter, so people have the chance to follow us. So there, for some reason everything pops up on the wrong screen here. I'm sorry, so that's why I needed to switch back the scene here. Yeah, let's get going. The campaign is not yet finished, so what you see in the demo is basically what's already finished. There are, like, the levels mostly exist, but the storyline is not yet written, so, and it's not included in the game. It's basically just a bunch of level drafts that I have somewhere in a folder, so I can't play these right here. We can play one or two campaign levels that exist in the demo as well, but you can try them yourselves. What I want to show today, or what I want to do during the stream, is just play the random and the daily levels. You'll see that, because that's where I see like the bigger benefit, maybe? I don't know if you would say that. So let's get started. So campaign, or maybe let's just start with the campaign once. This is not the version as you have it in the demo. This is actually a, so here I didn't have the introduction, how to use the key settings and stuff. You have that in the demo, so feel free to try that yourself. Just get back to the chat in case somebody's writing. I don't want to miss your messages if you are writing. Feel free to do so, by the way. Okay, here we go. I think I should see the chat, which would be awesome. I hope everything's working correctly. Is it actually, are we visible actually? I'm just wondering, let me just quickly check something. Because it should be available. Should. I think I need to adjust one small thing. Maybe you're not actually seeing this. maybe we had a technical issue here. I don't know. I'm live now. And it shows that. Now I see this also here. Okay, that looks good. I hope I was really online. I'm not really sure. Like I said, this is the first time I'm trying this. Sorry if you missed the first minutes. I'm going to upload a recording later on. Maybe something went wrong. I hope I'm seeing things correctly. Welcome to the chat. So let me reload this and see if it works here. By the way, if you have any, like if the sound is too loud, so this is just the background music of the game, should that be too loud? I think I checked the ratio of the volumes before, but if it's not as it should be, please just let me know. I don't know if I have the decoration set up correctly. I don't know. Let me see. Like I said, sorry, first time Twitch, no, first time Steam streamer. So please be a bit forgiving. Because this is... I'm new to this. Let me see if that works. Sadly, my stream decoration is not there. Never mind, we'll have that tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll have another stream, so I think I can't change that now, I suppose. Can I? Guess no. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, let's get going. Sorry for the hiccups, the technical ones. Okay, it's visible. Like I said, for some reason my matching decoration on the side of the stream, I don't know where you see it. If you see it on the CtrlC store page, there should be like decorated banners at the side, and for some reason they don't appear. I don't know, I'll try to get that fixed for tomorrow. So let's go on. So this is the story. The graphics are still, they are not final, but you get the idea. You're a robot, you're blocky, and yeah, you come home and you're like a service robot working for family, and your best friend is their child, you know, he's called Jim. And you come home and you're looking for Jim, and he's nowhere to be found, and you look around and what's that? I never had that. Interesting. Usually that works. It's that. Okay. Well, apparently we're not playing the campaign today. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry for this. I guess I need to reinstall the Steam version maybe, because I might have during my dev steps I might have mixed something up. So let's just play the daily track. You can play the campaign yourself if you play the demo. Sorry for that. I don't know. I'll retry that for tomorrow. But yeah, this one works. So every day there's a challenge that's the same for everybody. So everybody that has the game, so, or if you played the demo, you can have it as well. You just can't join the high score. Everybody who has the game can play the daily challenge, and can join the competition in a sense. Every day there's a procedurally generated track. Maybe just to explain that a bit, I'm not going to make it to improve my high score at this time. So you see these, there's a cutoff here. So you see these elements, right? So this one like going up here and going over here, this is an element. And there are 5 times 4 elements, and they are placed in a certain, certain fashion to form a track. So there's a set of track layouts plus a pretty big set of elements. And so this gets these procedurally generated tracks, and you can play like random tracks all the time, but these ones are shared with the whole community. For the campaign, that's a bit sad that I can't show you this right now. There's more freedom, so these levels are not like a combination of random pieces that have to fit together, but they are like, these are levels that are precisely made for the campaign, and so it's less versatile, but like more, it has more of a, I don't know, more of a 1-bit pixel art style rather than this one. So these are like the 2 modes how the game can be used in a sense. What I like, one key element of the game is that you can make your own elements. That's already, actually it's even included in the demo, even though there playing your own levels is not unlocked, but in theory you could send me your designs and I could upload them. But definitely in the final game there'll be a level editor, so you can create your own tracks and your own, like, that can be loaded, and your own elements. And as you have seen, I haven't gone into detail about that, but let me just restart, or let's just play random levels. Why not? So you see these animations, such as here, and or behind me there's also one, and these ones. That's actually, it's not really like a frame-based animation, but it's a Lua code, so it's actually code that's running. That may sound complicated, and in some cases it surely is. You can easily generate that automatically from a frame-based animation. So there's a like 2-way transformation between like frame-based animation and code to frame-based animation. But the nice thing is that if you're into coding, if you're into learning Lua, if you're into using Lua, Lua is, I don't know if you know that, it's one of the, it's for example used in World of Warcraft to I think to do UI programming, and probably also for a lot of things in the game, or in CryEngine, or in Roblox, for example. So many people should know the language, and if you know the language, you can easily code your own elements that have animations. So the question mark here, for example, is a frame-based animation, but this one is just a rotating rotating line. So there are like draw line commands, for example, and that's what's used here. You can also have interactive elements. We don't have many of these yet, so I don't know if we'll get to see one playing today, but this offers another level of depth. Plus, it's not, I don't think we have a track where this can be shown, because that of course relies on the track rather than the elements. It's possible to have elements communicating. So in theory, you can think of many possibilities that opens, not only for pre-made campaign levels, but in theory also for these random elements. You just need to make sure that everything works with everything else. But if that does, you're pretty free to do whatever you want. Oh, this one is an interactive element. Oops. Just doesn't work sometimes. I don't know if it's working. Doesn't seem to be. Usually it distracts your cores. So there are some minor flaws that we still have. I mean, it's for a reason that the game is not yet released. So let's just keep playing. You know, so it's a remake of a classic game that I played on a green on black screen back in the days. But this, wait a second, I just need to leave this here because I can't see the chat again. Now I see. Now, I decided to add a whole palette of new colors So, and the default setting, if you install the game, the same, by the way, applies to the demo that you can play. The default setting is that it will pick random colors. That's indicated by these. Yeah, it doesn't clearly look like a die, but you know, this means like pick a random player color and pick a maze color. That's not the player color. You can choose that, but we'll just leave it like this. That's a retro mode. That makes it look a bit more retro in a sense. Yeah. Like I said, you can create predefined maps. You can, if you play a random level and you really enjoy it, or you want to share that and have like a shared high score with somebody, then you can save it and just share that. That's also possible. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do. Like I said, if there are many people that enjoy playing the game, and if that, in that sense, I have the capacity to build, I would love to have some kind of portal where you can share your challenges, like besides the daily challenge, and maybe challenge each other and share nice tracks that also may have like more of a campaign like style, so you can have more more interdependence between the elements. Actually, that's possible already today. So in theory, we could just create a unique level that that everybody can play in the daily, like tomorrow, not today. That's defined, but tomorrow that will be no problem. I was thinking about whether I should show the level editor on stream here. I don't think I'll do that today, unless, I don't know, the chat really wants to. Oh, this is a bug, sorry. This element shouldn't be there, obviously. Like, you see that it's wrongly assigned here, sorry. That shouldn't have happened. I thought we fixed that in the Steam release, but apparently there's something still wrong. I have, like, if I say we, it's like me coding, and I have a bunch of beta testers. There's actually a Discord. You can join the Discord that's linked here on the Steam page. That's less active than the stream Discord, but it's still, like, it's English speaking, the other one is German speaking, but I'm really happy to collect people on both Discord servers to get feedback and to interact with you if you like the game, to be able to just see what you like, add new features, and maybe, like I said, set up competitions. Yeah, just see what resonates. Create cool levels, actually, the game is pretty moddable. So besides you being able to create your own level elements and your own tracks, in theory, everybody could like create his her own campaign. So basically, that's pretty replaceable. Or you could even like do some very in-depth restyling of the game, because very many, like, the resources files are basically just plain files that are in the game folder. I decided, actually that's like an intentional decision, because usually you don't have that, you have resources packs, but I decided that I want to leave the game kind of open and accessible and have people, or give people the opportunity to make changes if they want to, because I just like that idea of having that kind of flexibility for people. I just realized that we have like this, it's not cut off. That's better. Yeah, let's play a number of tracks together, shall we? Like you see, the color changes every time. I really like the different color modes that we have. The classic one, like I said, the one that I know is green on black, or like green on very dark green in a sense. Let's see if that works this time. No. Yeah. Maybe, unfortunately, sometimes the code for the Lua part got lost during commits. We need to make sure that everything works before the release, but that's a few weeks to go, unless I'm delaying that again. So this is a difficulty 3 level, so it's not that hard. You see, I don't have many issues there, because obviously I'm pretty experienced playing this game. Let me just, I have prepared. It's, by the way, I'm based in Germany, and I'm playing this at, like, what's the time? It's 26 past 10 in the evening. I still made a coffee, just to make sure I can still focus. And yeah, feel free to also get a drink if you like. Stay hydrated, guys. Let's just, I don't know, let's replay the daily again. It's difficulty 3, so it's pretty simple. Right now, I seem to be the only one who played that. The demo doesn't allow you to enter the high score. So there's a beta version, a closed beta, and everybody there could join the high score, but they don't play that regularly at the moment. So often there are like 2-3 entries. Right now it's only me. You see that other small dot moving? That's the ghost track. So that's my best. Yeah, my best, not time, but my best score. And I can try to get better by following that path, or actually improving on that. The controls, maybe I should go into that more. It's like called tank controls. So I'm looking from the top, and when I turn right, when I press the right key, I turn right by 45 degrees, and I can only turn by 45 degrees each step. So the closest circle I could do would be, I'm going to show you, that's easier than explaining. Let me see if we made a new high score. I think it's not exactly. Or is it? I'm not sure. Let's go back to, because it's just difficulty 3 that leaves out many nice elements. So the closest circle I can make is this one, you see? So it's always yeah, like 2 next to each other, then like 2 that sense. This is the closest I can get to making a circle, because of that, yeah, control constraint that I have. When I hit the wall, I lose points. There's going to be a challenge mode where I must not hit the wall at all, or I need to restart from the beginning. You see these like afterglow emulation things. That's to kind of recreate the feeling of an old CRT screen where I first played that. The actual optics have improved a bit since that closed beta version. Actually, I'm playing the closed beta version here. I'm not playing the demo. But yeah, I'm still refining this. I kind of like it, but I want to have it still a bit improved before the release. And actually the demo, if you pay close attention, you see that it's already a bit better there. But there's still, in the making, still improvements to be, made. One comment that I got was that with the, you see that when I hit the wall, there are these small particles that spray. And one comment that I got was that this is like, I have all that retro charm, but this kind of spoils it for that person. And I understand that. I have made up that same argument in my mind, and I don't have a final answer to that yet. So you can turn on and off the retro mode. I think I'll make like another flag that turns on and off these like effects independent from the retro mode, because like these afterglow things belong to the retro mode more than the effects mode. But I want, I don't want to have either of them only turned on. So I want you to be able to turn on everything, turn off everything. And so I think I'll have another flag added here, like maybe VFX or something, or particles or whatnot. If you have any opinion on that, like I said, everything I'm really happy to get your feedback on the game, on tracks, on my ideas about the community building, on modding, on whatever. I'm here to to answer your questions or to collect your feedback. That's, I think, a good way to phrase it. Let us just play some little games. One really nice thing about the game from my perspective, you know, I'm a game dev, you know, this is like, I'm doing that professionally. So I'm only building games basically, besides like what comes with running your own like company or being, I don't know, do you say self-employed? So being like, yeah, running your own company, let's phrase it that way. So of course there are other things that come with this, but besides that, I'm basically just making games. But I find it hard to play games because I make games, or I spend so much time making games that I don't get to play other games too often. And what I really like about this game is that it's really fast to pick up. You can just boot it up and it starts immediately, and you can play a challenging level and just play challenging levels one after the other until your time is up, or you prefer to do something else. But it's like a kind of somewhat hardcore game that has very little or very short play cycles. That's something I really appreciate about that game, and that's also one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to release that on Steam. Because I think there are many people, I don't know if they're really going to find and like the game, but this is one of the key benefits that I see in that game. It's pretty hard if you really want to do play the challenger mode, play these tricky tracks, but you can pick it up very easily, very quickly, and just play for a very short time if you don't have much time. Actually, that's what I did for quite a while, like also while I was studying, or I had another company before this one. So I just had that on my desk, sitting on my desktop, the icon to start the game, and whenever I had a little time to play, but not, enough time to launch a whatever GTA or whatnot, I would just start the game, just play a few rounds, and I was able to fill my small gaming breaks with something that's still challenging. That's one of the elements, one of the aspects that I really like about this particular concept. There's like these codes, you can share them. So if you want to share the random game that you played, you can just share this number with your friends, and they'll be able to play the exact same level without the need to share actually like the level itself. But both options are possible. Let me just grab another coffee, or not grab another, but grab the same again. Delicious. And let's just play. Let's just chat and play. I think that's a nice thing to do on a Sunday evening, isn't it? I don't know if you want. I don't know how that works on Steam. If there is not the same chat culture as we have on Twitch. I usually there's that issue again. I'm sorry. Should check every track before. Yeah, it's here again. Sorry for that little issue with the wrongly identified track that spoils the random tracks. These speed particles, I don't know if you identified them like that. They appear when you speed. There's a speed key, so you can speed up. You drive twice as fast. That does not mean you can pass through walls or anything, but you can score more points. Actually, that makes things way harder, if you like. But I felt like it's really a nice, a nice feature to include. Actually, it was, I think the community may even have brought it up on Twitch. who said, so they were looking at it from a speedrunning perspective, and I think it makes sense to have that as an additional difficulty modifier, if you like. This track element, the one you're seeing here, is designed to be really as mean as possible, and I haven't, so I can make it through every element without hitting the wall in theory, but I have never made it through this one. Every element that comes with the game, you can create others as well, oh, of course, but every element that comes with the game is guaranteed to be completable without hitting the wall. So you never need to hit the wall to make a rotation through to get through the element. This one is only an element, like, you know, the one where I'm standing, that I haven't managed to play through without hitting the wall since I created the element. It's definitely possible. I'm sure it is. I only haven't managed, and I have not seen anybody do it from the community. But the great thing is, once I release the game, I think there will be people mastering that much faster than I can ever imagine. And that's something I really look forward to. You know, I'm probably still the best player of my own game, but I'd be a huge fan of that not being the case anymore in, like, I don't know, 2 months or whatever. That would be great. I'm building these games for people to have fun, not for me to be the best in my games. Obviously, I guess. This is... I don't know if you had... You know, I don't know if you've been around in the tech ecosystem for long enough to know these... what are they called? I don't know the English word. Is it beryllium? No, it's not beryllium. So there's this color scheme, like that color, like that orangish yellow on black is also one of the old monitor like color combinations that you had in the black and white era. We only had such a screen for a very short time to replace another one that was being repaired, but I don't know, it still has a bit of a retro feeling to me, so I really love to add that to the game. The other colors have nothing to do with classic colors, it's just that I found they match. This I want to point you to this element. Those of you who may be into computer science or maybe maths may recognize that structure that appears now. So these are gliders, and that's actually Game of Life. You can Google that. It's called after, is it Conway? Conway's Game of Life? I don't remember. So it's actually like a theoretical, how do you say that? Like it's a kind of, it's not a game in the you play that sense, but it's a theoretical computer science concept. And since I said, like, these elements aren't just animations, but they are code, I just made an implementation of Game of Life in Lua, and that's actually what's running in this element. So it's not the only one that I have. I think there are 3 pre-made, or 4 now, but you can just easily, in the editor, I think I may show that tomorrow, I don't know, but you can. I'm definitely going to show you more about the editor in a series of YouTube videos that I'm going to launch soon. So in the editor you can just choose the Game of Life element and adjust the initial setting to your I wouldn't say to your needs, but to your taste, and just play around with that and have your own Game of Life level elements for CtrlC. That's pretty awesome, I would say. At least if you're into computer science. I got that idea from a family member who actually studied computer science. Actually, I studied computer science, but only as a a side subject. Is that what you call it? So my main subject at the university was actually physics, but that's not too far, as you may imagine. A few other things that maybe might be interesting is that there's not only, you may be hearing that I'm just using the keys to control the game, but I can also play with gamepad or with mouse. Let me just try with the mouse. New track, and you hear I'm playing with the mouse now. I have, whoa, yeah. When playing with the mouse, you need to turn off the speed mode and do that in time, and that's not easy. Oops. It's just, I never had that idea, but I have someone from the community who actually asked for that. And since it wasn't a big effort to implement it, I just added it. And I think he plays with like mouse inputs most of the time, or maybe always. You see that? That's like a nice reference to Pong. I don't know if you recognize it. It's just two players playing Pong here. That's actually just frame based, so it's not really playing Pong. It would be nice to implement that, but I haven't had the time yet. It's just a nice animation. But you get the point. Oops, now I played the break button. You can stop if, for example, you need to wait for a gate to open or whatever. This element was created for the Super Bowl, so I made a special event track where I had that. So I don't prefer playing with the mouse, but it's possible. It's possible. You can do it. It's always a bit hard for me. When I really play very focused, it's hard to actually say something. I'm trying my best to do both. I don't know if you listen to this or only watch the stream. But for those listening, I think it makes sense to have, you know, some background information. So I'm trying my best to do both. One thing is, actually, I'm playing by watching the stream. That's why I stopped just now, rather than by watching the actual game. That's when I look this way, I see the game, and when I look this way, when I look at you, chat, that's when I only see like the screen grabbed version. So when I'm behind myself here, I don't actually see that when I look that way. I think here it's a bit easier. You see, I'm pretty experienced with these, the vast majority of these elements, even though they may look complicated. Once you have, like, it's a bit of muscle memory, a muscle memory thing. You need to have an intuitive approach of how to get through it, and then you can just like play that back, and you're through. But before you're there, like I showed you with that really hard new element in that track a few laps back, before you're there, it really takes, I don't know, quite some effort practicing. So here we have that same game of life element again. We have rain. That's only, I think, a frame-based animation, so that's not that interesting. But, oh, by the way, when you look at the start and end element, you see that number counting down. That's a bit uncommon, but I still decided to do that one. I think I'm going to leave it. The community said they'd rather change it, but honestly, I have no better idea how to solve it. So this is supposed to be the score that you get at the end. So you have an idea of, you know, what your current score is and what your score is going to be at the end. And even though that, of course, does not perfectly match the very blocky retro fashion, I think I'm still going to leave it in there. Maybe you can turn it off with the retro flag and only see the score at the end. But I think, in a sense, it has a certain, I don't know. I like it. It has a certain layer, maybe. After I added it, I really fell in love with that design. I don't know how you feel. Oh, by the way, some of the elements I just mentioned that Super Bowl, this is a guinea pig here because I have guinea pigs like as pets at home. And so that was to celebrate the guinea pigs. Actually, we had a Twitter conversation with another indie dev who said there were too few guinea pig games, and I agreed, and so I added, I mean, this is not a guinea pig game, but at least I added a guinea pig to the game, and he appreciated that. So we're all a big family of friendly people in the indie games industry, from my perspective at least. Oh, I don't know. Running through that element reminds me of something that I tried. I created a QR code. There's a bit of a hurdle or of a problem when doing so, because either it has to be connected, then the QR code doesn't work perfectly, like connected to the rest of the track, or the other way around, you have like a QR code somewhere in the level and you can just drive around it or whatever, you don't need to pass through it. But technically, you can just have like a QR code as part of the level. It's not useful, but it's funny. I tried that for Twitter and it worked. It's kind of nice. Oh, by the way, the colors, I have that predefined palette. I think there are like 8 colors nowadays. And I'm wondering if I want to change them or maybe add new ones. Because, yeah, technically the sky is the limit. But I felt like having a palette of colors that kind of fit nicely together, not all of them in the same sense. I'm also not a color expert, but the ones I have a certain feeling for me about them, and I don't know, maybe we'll add more. That's also something where I'm open for feedback. If you need to go through these complex elements, you really need to plan ahead. Since I said you can't turn by more than 45 degrees, you really need to anticipate where you're going, because otherwise you can't, in case of these like complex paths, sometimes you need to be like block perfect, because you can't shift that. And that's why some elements are really hard to master. That's also for me the thrill of the game. Really easy to understand and pick up, and can spend quite some time mastering it. And if you're like done, you can still set the barrier higher for you by adding your own level elements that are harder, or adding your own tracks, and trying to speed up and beat your high score. That makes everything way harder. This curve, for example, or this element, has the slightly mean aspect that it has a steepness that doesn't match any movement. You can move in a 45 degrees angle, but not in that angle, and so you need to adjust the direction every few steps, like the one I passed through a few blocks earlier. Oops. So this is, like I said, to me, this is the nicest mode. I really enjoy the challenger mode, also to have the same daily challenge with everybody. It's a bit like Wordle. Have like the same challenge every day with everybody who owns the game. But if you want to keep playing, and I mean, this is what I'm doing here, then this is a really nice mode to keep playing random levels, keep like having new challenges. And if you want, if like you see, okay, that's a great track, or somebody has challenged me to compete with his high score and has sent me his level code, then you can easily join in the competition. was not bad, actually. Now I'm getting really bad. I wonder if we'll get to the point at this live stream where I'm for the first time able to pass through that new element without hitting the wall. Let's see. We have it here again. Okay. Hit the wall before entering. No. You need to take that curve, you know? I should have, because you need the room to the right. That's the tricky part. The right part is doable, but the left part is hard. The left part. Oops. I'm really impressed by some people from my community, how fast they got up to speed with the game. That's really impressive. I mean, they have spent quite some time playing the game also. I don't remember the exact play time. I think it was like 80 hours or so, which is not too little for like that. It's still a small game. Oh, by the way, this one is empty. Right now it's pretty simple, therefore. But like, I want to add a bit of a stepwise challenge there. It's only not yet implemented, so right now it's very simple. Just need to pass through it. Yeah. Oops. This one always reminds me of like an NFC antenna. Do you get that? Or from these protection tags that are on items in stores, like an RFID antenna. I don't even know. It's not actually. I think it's not inspired by one. But it still resembles it, I would say. Oh, also one important thing. I don't know if you realize that, but every element needs to be possible both ways, like both directions. It doesn't have to be the exact same difficulty, because there are some elements that are not symmetric in that sense. Actually, most aren't. But it has to be possible. So, because you never know in advance, unless you work with clearly predefined track patterns, you never know which way you're going through the track. So everything needs to be possible in both directions, at least like in these random or these procedurally generated tracks. And that's actually what's also one of the design requirements for making new elements. It's okay to have people wait or whatever and have different difficulties, maybe even going through both, like one way or the other. You can't officially set that to two different difficulties, so it shouldn't be too different, but it's possible and fully okay. I think for that kind of stream I should probably introduce the hardcore mode already, so you'd have more of a challenge, or I'd have more of a challenge that I never may hit the wall, because like this I only lose points. But it would be more entertaining, I guess, if I really needed to focus that much that I don't hit the wall at all. Haven't seen that in a while. Let me see if I can make it through here. That requires more focus. I'm sorry, I may be speaking a little less this time then. But makes it more challenging. This one is easy, this one is easy as well. Easy. You just need to have that shift here. No! That really wouldn't. Okay. That was really unnecessary, you see that? Now I can keep talking and won't make a difference. It wasn't too hard actually, but the place where I hit the wall was really unnecessary. Really bad. I wonder why the color code's the same all the time just now. It must be a coincidence, but interesting. Unless I found a bug, but I don't think there is one. That's pretty straightforward. I remember the code line. So it can't be actually. Unless there's something going on that's really mysterious. So that's easy, easy, easy. Really easy. A bit tough, not really, but a bit. Easy, there's no sparkling. This is like a... it's like a bit of a Christmas tree. But this one has no sparkles, so there are no random obstacles. Or they're not random, but there are no scripted obstacles. Okay, now I made it. No hits. That's cool. It's the nice thing. It's a very precise control scheme. So, you know, you can. Oops. Whenever you hit the wall, it's immediately clear it was your fault. You just didn't practice enough. It's like Super Meat Boy in that sense. You always know, okay, that was just my fault. Like here, like I'm colliding with the walls all the time. It's entirely my fault. It's not the controls. It's just me being really bad at playing just now. But you can't stay focused all the time. That's a challenge. It's actually not possible, I would say. By the way, I mean, I don't know who's in the chat and if you're up for chatting, but if you have other games that you checked out during Next Fest, I don't know, feel free to also recommend them. I know that most people wouldn't appreciate that, but I mean, we're here all for the same purpose of like showing your games, getting people who like them to play them and to like come across them. So if you have something that, for example, matches this little game here in style or in in approach or whatnot, let's discuss that if you like. For example, I haven't checked it out unfortunately, but they're basically neighbors from not far from here. I'm in Mainz, Germany, and I don't know if you have come across Pioneers of Pagonia. It's I wouldn't say a city builder. It's I don't know if you know the Settlers games, and that's actually by the inventor of that series, not the Settlers of not Catan, but the Settlers games series, and that's probably pretty similar. And I know the people are like, I know one of the studio heads who works on that, and they are also part of Next Fest now. And there's Goal Getters. That's a sports game that was made or is made by another company that I know well from Mainz. They're friends, and yeah, a bunch of companies from not far from here actually are part of the Next Fest this time. It's a bit like a family gathering in a sense. We have a Discord where we exchange our experience, and I don't know, I really like sharing these insights and successes or maybe failures with others, because you can always learn and celebrate each other's games and push yourself to the next level and whatnot. That's really cool. I really think, like, I love that indie sphere because everybody's really that helpful, supportive, or everybody I know at least. I haven't come across any bad feelings anywhere, really. That's so cool. It's raining again, and I'm hitting, oh no. There's actually a way to get through that without hitting any raindrops, but it's tough. By the way, if you're playing the demo and the daily, don't be surprised if you're not in Europe, because the daily means that, well, it changes at midnight Central European time. So don't be surprised if you're for example, in, I don't know, in the Americas or Asia somewhere, then you're off, of course. Oops. I don't know. How do you feel about the particles? Because, like I said, there have been people who say, okay, that doesn't match that retro style. I don't like that. Like I said, I mean, you can turn it, you will be able to turn it off. I think then nobody can really explain about it because, I mean, oh, that has that level element in it again. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to complain about that if it's turnable, if it's possible to turn it off, but I don't know. I need to post a reply to that comment actually because I want to yeah, also interact with the community on TikTok. That was actually a TikTok video where I had that answer. You can also follow my development on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitch, as I said, but only German speaking updates. The others are in English. Plus on YouTube. So I shared some insights, some kind of devlog, some updates, all on these different platforms. And on Twitch, I stream the development live, but that only in German to now. This is actually like this today is actually my first fully English stream as far as I remember. I might do some streams on either Instagram or TikTok at some point, but right now I'm only doing my regular, soon again regular Twitch streams in German. But nevertheless, feel free to. I'm happy if you look around and say hello. That's always nice. We have some international visitors once in a while, and then there's a small part of the stream where I speak English, and then I return to German. I'm really looking forward to having more feedback of players because you know I enjoy that game so much. I mean it's tricky. It's not only enjoying in the sense like as you would enjoy a massage or a day at the spa, but at the spa or at the swimming pool or at the beach. But I think you get the idea. I think you'll get the idea. Oops. That you can't look at the chat when you're in the game or in the you're doing the track because then you definitely hit the wall. Not maybe, but definitely. Ah, that was really bad. I should focus more. I'm sorry. That must look pretty random if I hit the wall all the time and just lose some points. That's not really. I should add the challenge mode for the next playthrough. I think maybe I should. Maybe I'll just add that for tomorrow. I may consider that. Then we'd have restarts all the time and find it really hard to finish. But I think that would be nice. I think I'll do that. I think I'll add for tomorrow's stream. I haven't announced it, but I want to stream at I think 4 in the afternoon tomorrow, 4 p.m. European time. Or yeah, not European, Central European time. German, Berlin, Amsterdam time zone. But I still need to set up the event. There are 2 highlighted slots during the Steam Next Fest that you can take, and I wanted to definitely take that chance of getting more visibility for the game because I mean it's a very special interest niche game. You can do the level editor modding part. It only I think there's only a small fraction of players who really enjoy that kind of game. So yeah, I really want to find as many as possible. So I want to take every chance of yeah, of getting their attention on the platform. Because that's, I mean, of course, it's also a commercial aspect. like I said, I'm doing that full time, making video games, so I need to make a living off of it. But it's also a bit like it's a, do you say that, like a hard project of mine? Actually, that's kind of funny. My mother sometimes watches my Twitch streams, and she knows the original game because, like I said, my father programmed that with a group of people of pupils at school, and she remembers the original game. And she's like one of very few people who will. And like a few weeks back, she told me, "Yeah, it's much nicer with these animated elements." And I was like, "What?" Yeah, I mean that's much better than the original version where they didn't have that. And I was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool feedback." I never thought of that, but yeah, she knows the original version that I played as a kid, and it's funny that she really appreciates my idea of having these animated elements added to the original concept. That's cool. Sometimes I'm even surprised how much my mother actually, I don't know, sees or perceives that I do online. Recently, like I posted a new TikTok video, and I know she's not on TikTok, but I also cross-posted that on Instagram and YouTube, and she must have seen it somewhere. She didn't even know what platform she saw it on. But she said, "Yeah, I watched that video," and she told me like I don't remember, something like, "Yeah, you should do X, Y, Z differently." I don't remember the details, but it was like, okay, how did you notice that with that video? It was really like literally the next day or very shortly afterwards. I was like, okay, interesting. You noticed that? Apparently it's getting shown to people who follow me on social media, so that's good. Good to know. Sometimes you have the impression that it's that hardly anybody is interacting, but people still see it. They just don't often don't interact. I also have some friends who sometimes join the Twitch stream, but hardly ever chat. So sometimes they sometimes they know about news that I share in the chat without like me sharing them with them outside, and I'm surprised because I didn't know they were in the chat. I had that recently. That was fun. So you always probably always have a bigger audience than you anticipate. I don't know who's watching now, so maybe I don't know who may be writing on whatever other news or chat platform afterwards and say, "Hey, I saw you online. I saw you playing your game. Looking forward to seeing if anybody reacts to this. Would be quite fun." Actually, I thought about attending a games event, Polaris it's called, in Hamburg. Of course, it's by far not as big as Gamescom. And I thought about going there, but it wouldn't have made sense because it was just this weekend. And yeah, since it's already Steam Next Fest, I wouldn't have had the time to, I don't know, post online about Steam Next Fest. By the way, this is also one of the Game of Life elements. You may recognize that pattern if you know Game of Life, because that's pretty well known actually. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a computer scientist really by education, but I still enjoy that, having this funny oops, no, that was bad. This funny little geeky reference in the game. This question mark down there, I don't know, I hope that gets clear. It's supposed to be like a 3D rotation that this is supposed to show, and that always reminds me of of yeah, Super Mario World, or actually the Lego model of that question mark block. I don't know if that makes sense for anyone besides me, but that's what it reminds me of. I don't have that, but I mean, I don't know how you feel about Lego, but that's one of the models that I like to have and that I'd like to build, but I haven't. Maybe there's going to be a chance at some point. Just not very cheap, and we indie devs can't afford much sometimes. Oh, I don't know. Sounds weird. It you see, I'm getting better. Did you see that? Did you see that? It was just really better, much better than any time before. We might still make it today. I don't know if we'll make it, but we're getting there. That's amazing. That's really cool, you know? You feel how you suddenly realize how you get better, and then it's just a matter of automatically pressing the right buttons with the right timing. That's so amazing, having that effect. I don't know, that's one of the things I really love about this game. It's like you need some training, and then I mean, you know, I don't play that well when I speak, but when I'm listening, for example, when I play that while listening to podcasts or watching another stream or whatever, it's really it's so nice to actually sorry, I'm just checking that the chat still works. It's so nice to have. Oh, no, let me phrase it differently. So when I do something at the side and I'm not 100% focused on playing, then I tend to have better results than when I'm really just focused. It's like speaking at the same time is not the peak peak performance, but really just solely focusing on the game isn't peak performance either. So, next track, next chance to make a perfect run. Oops, that started really badly. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. In German we say there's a worm in it. When something seems like, I don't know, not working out from the beginning. That's what I feel about this track or this try. If you enjoy what you're seeing, or like if you have played the demo and you're interested in the game, then don't forget to wishlist it, by the way. Oh, that's buggy. These should follow you. That's also nice. So they tend to, when there's not that bug, I don't know where that comes from just now, they follow you. That's also cool. I haven't seen some elements appear regularly, others very rarely. I don't know if there's something wrong with the randomness there. Maybe it's something I need to check, but I guess it's just normal randomness, and some things just appear more often than others because it's just random. So the intended release date is the 6th November. So in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks and 1 day. I'm not entirely sure I can make it, but I definitely want to stay in November. I don't want to take any longer because yeah, I have many more things that I want to improve, but instead of improving things that nobody really wants or nobody enjoys playing, I'd rather release it. I mean, it has, when you have the entire campaign and this random levels and the daily challenge and everything, then there's quite some, some meat that you can, like, some fun that you can enjoy, and everything that maybe comes in addition can be like put on top, and maybe I'll have DLCs there or whatever. But I'd already have the chance to see what people actually enjoy about the game. That's important to know for me, to find out how to best make the game most people enjoy. This element, I can't. I find it hard to tell you which one I mean. But I just passed through an element that I also haven't seen for quite a while, and that was really a challenge to get through the first time. Oops. Ah, man, that's... sometimes the easiest ones are the hardest to actually pass through without hitting the wall because you're not focused enough. It happens so often that I just hit the wall in some really simple, pretty, I don't know, pretty straight or pretty broad passage or whatnot. So annoying when this happens, but it happens all the time. Oops. Well, that was interesting timing. I think that only worked because I was speeding. Interesting. That looked like a bug, but I think it can't have been one. Oops. Speeding. I love the speed mode because it really adds more challenge to the challenge. It's really, when you're pretty good at the game, oops, then it still adds some spice. By the way, if you wonder why I have that arrow appearing when I hit the wall, that's the direction that I keep going after, when I collide with the wall, then you see that's the previous direction. Also, you see that's also something that's a bit of a, well, it's an effect. You see, you have these eyes of the player. They are, of course, not part of the original, style. So you see the direction from, where the eyes look. So you have that arrow, and you need that because in this case, it's pretty obvious. And you see the eyes, but the eyes aren't there in the retro mode. But you definitely need to know in a more complex situation, and once you played the game, you'll definitely understand what I mean. You need to know where you're going to go next after you start or you continue your movement. That's crucial in a more complex setting, because I got asked that when I had some people playtesting in RL. They were like, okay, why do I have that arrow? And I was like, yeah, try it out and you know. And then they tried it out and then they knew. It's really, sometimes you have that. It's like, yeah, it's much harder to explain than to show you. And when you try it, it's like perfectly obvious why you need it. I'm sometimes, that's so annoying when you have that. You can do it better, and you don't. You just fail. That's disappointment. Disappointment. I don't know if you're active in the chat. There's not much going on here, but if you want to let me know, I'm curious of where you are located, or what time zone at least. If you want to share, feel free. I'm in Germany, so it's Central European summertime just now. But that's going to change soon. Like, I don't know, in like 1 or 2 weeks, we'll have normal time, not summertime. But not yet. I think for tomorrow, I'm really going to implement the challenge mode. Maybe I'll not, I won't be able to expose that in the sense that I'll have a menu button for it, but I want to have it for the stream. That makes it a bit more spicy, I think, if I just need to restart every fail. For me, that's fair, I think, because I'm not too bad at the game. And then I'd have a real, how do I say? Oh, shit. Then I'd have a real motivation to learn that one track element that I haven't mastered yet. That would be good. Would be good. There's another element of Game of Life. You see these two ones that are the same. They're both Game of Life elements. And that's so annoying. Sometimes you really, it's just like focusing. Just need to do it. Okay. No. Sometimes you just don't remember every exact corner of the... This is a really mean element. I don't know if you've seen the second video on the Steam store page. This is where I show a few of the elements because you know most games have enemies. I don't have enemies, but I have these elements. And so I thought, okay, let me not present the enemies, but let me present the elements that you fight against. And that element that I just passed through, that with these corners, is really hard to master in that one direction because once you hit the wall, you're lost. Like you can't make it through without hitting it again 2, 3 more times. Once you hit the wall, you're doomed. That's so mean. So you need to have a perfect like a perfect path, or you're going to lose. If you had like lives, you're going to lose like 2 or 3 of them at once because of one mistake. It's not forgiving at all. While it's this, for example, you just need to count. Basically, it's just counting and having the right timing. That's it. It may look complex, but it's not. It's really straightforward. I really need to learn where I can pass through the rain and how without hitting the wall. That's also one of the things that I haven't figured out yet for myself. I'm just trying randomly to get a spot or a timing, and then often it doesn't work out. But like I said, sometimes you need to have that hardcore mode to be really motivated to learn. That's why I think I'll implement that for tomorrow, at least for me to show you, and maybe not with the menu button for everybody in the closed beta. By the way, if there's somebody here from the stream, from the Twitch stream, or from the closed beta, or from the Discord, feel free to say hello. Like also if it's like with a different nickname or something. I posted the fact that I'd be online in the Discord, on the Discord server of my Twitch stream, but I don't know if anybody saw it because it was pretty last minute. And most people there actually don't follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, so they would have missed the announcement there. That's also very separate communities, actually. For whatever reason, I can't really tell. No! Okay, that was unnecessary. Focus, you see, it's easy. It's not easy, it's just having practiced very much. But then it's easy. It's like knowing how, and then it's easy to do. Or having that muscle memory is the key to success, I would say, rather than really knowing everything by heart. It's more like having that muscle memory. And I don't have that for every element because I keep adding new elements, and that's why I don't have that for every newest element. For example, the rain is rather new, and so I haven't figured that out yet. So a way to go. Oh no, that shouldn't have. That's interestingly, that's pretty tricky. You know, it's just a bit too far from each other, these two paths through that S curve. It doesn't look like it's tricky, but it is. I don't know why it is. It doesn't make sense. They're much more difficult distances between elements and whatever. Okay, I don't want to finish that if it's started so depressing. Actually, I had like feedback that I got from a friend who's also like an indie dev was that when he sees me playing, it looks like the challenge is not obvious because I'm too good. I don't know. I think that does not apply in this case. I hope you get the point that what I do is not really easy. Otherwise, just try out the demo. You don't have the random tracks part, but you can play a predefined set of tracks of different difficulties from 0, which is like only straight parts, to 5, which is this what I'm playing here. And you can play the daily challenge, so you can get an idea. The daily challenge is always a 3 to 5 difficulty track. I was thinking about leaving that or not, but the good part of having a difficulty 3 daily level is that let's try to beat that. 83,998. The good part of that is that also not so good players can compete, even though they may not make it to the high score, because level 5 can make it really hard to make it through the level at all, while 3 works for most people, but they just won't necessarily get the highest scores. So I think it's I think it's a good decision to have all 3 levels, but 84,178. 84,178. Okay, we beat the previous one. Let's see if we can still improve. I want to have one run where I don't hit the wall at all and use the speed often. And like you see, this is a difficulty 3 level, and it's compared to the 5 levels that we saw all the time before. This one is pretty easy, but still, you know, you can solve it better or worse. So that still makes a huge difference. You see, now we have passed the 100,000. Let's see. I would love my community to join and try to beat my high score here. Unfortunately, like I said, the demo doesn't allow for this because it's the demo, obviously. But if you're in the closed beta and if you like, you can join. Just write me. Then you can compete for the high score position every day. No, I think that's been the chance. I think we won't make it now. Can we? I don't think we have any chance of. No. That was it. That was it. I shouldn't have hit the wall that one time. That's on the highest like rank. Can't hit the wall even once without like losing too many points for the high score, for beating your own score or the one of the person at the top. And I think we'll have very good players being at the top of the list pretty soon after release. But I can switch the list such that you only see your Steam friends in your surrounding, or we can toggle between two modes and just like have that global high score and the friends high score, like alternatingly. That might be a nice thing to have. So yeah, I don't know if I can easily beat that still. Let's see. That was risky, but rewarded. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Okay, that was a bug that only exists in the current beta version, not in the demo. That was bad luck because we would have beaten the high score by 1,000 points. Sad. Sad. No. When that happens, you can just give it up. When you're competing with your own high score, hitting the wall even once is a game breaker. No, is it a game breaker? No, a deal breaker? Deal breaker, maybe. I don't know which word I thought of. It's the end of the try. No. It's a bit like speedrunning, but not speed, but score counts. Let's see. Let's see. No, I pressed the button a little too early. That's so... I don't know if you can feel my pain here. That's so mean when that happens. Or when when I don't manage to wait long enough. Yeah. Bad. No. I tried to race around that corner. That would have gotten me, I don't know, a few hundred more points if it had worked, rather than being careful here. But on the other hand, there's a high risk of not making it. Like here. Like here. By the way, right now you see your own ghost track, but that's also, it's like on the to-do list to have a global ghost so you can compete with the highest high score entry or maybe somebody else, but you don't have only your own, like previous results to compete against. Made it. 107,480. I don't know. I don't want to bore you, so I won't keep playing that forever, but I sometimes, I want to master it at least without hitting the wall and see where that leads. That was bad. That was so bad. So bad. Like I said, it's pretty precise. Oh, no. Sometimes you can just rely on having the right timing intuitively, and if it doesn't work out, you're like lost anyway. There's no way to repair that or anything. when it's lost, it's lost. That's why you can't always reproduce a great run immediately, because sometimes, at least I can't, because it's sometimes like that. Finger knowledge. 108,350. Wow, nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of satisfied. Okay, guys, I don't know. The stream was planned until like 11:30. So if there are no questions, I think, I mean, I'm going to have some more rounds, but we're slowly heading towards the end of the stream. I'll say a few words, and like I said, I'll run a few rounds again, but yeah. Maybe, oh no, I can't show you the demo just now because my setup doesn't allow for that at the moment. Or maybe, no, it doesn't. No, that doesn't work actually. Anyway. Oops. That was pretty bad. How bad can it be? And I'm like, yes. Oops. Let me play 4. That increases the likelihood of difficulty 4 elements, obviously. Some of them are nice and we don't see them in 5 as often. Oh, interesting that this counts as a level 4 element. That's maybe... that should change. I think that should change. I think that's too hard for a level 4. But also that we need to do some balancing and optimization. We means like I need community data for this because that's I have my ideas and I have my experience, but in the end what counts is the player feedback in this case or in this kind of situation, because it's just maybe for some reason I just find it easier. Oops. No. This could be a 4, you know, but the other one should be a 4. This, for some reason, the script is not active here. I don't know why. Oh, we may not have seen that one actually, have we? It's pretty simple, but it's one of the earliest animated elements that I had in the game. Nowadays, there are many new elements coming all the time, but these 2 dots moving up and down were really among the first animated elements that I had. So it has a bit of nostalgia. Nowadays, the editor is much more powerful than back when I created these. Oh no, in the end I'm... No! Can you understand that? I'm just replaying the same track because I'm so ashamed of the performance at the end. Better. You see my previous... You see that ghost? It goes my previous track. Because I played that exact same track. If you share the level code with someone, then you could also share the ghost track. I'm going to give you all the details how to do that. And you can compete with somebody like on a private level without like an official high score. And like I said, if we have enough people in the community, I'd be happy to implement some sort of community space where you can share challenges or create tracks and have dedicated high scores for them. Something like this is something that I'd really enjoy setting up. Oops. Oh no, that was so bad actually. Even worse. Oh man. I'm not... Oh my goodness, what's that? Amazingly horrible. yeah, so having that kind of portal where you have challenges from, for example, your friends or from random people, and can not only play the daily challenge, but also like other challenges, that would be a bit of my dream for how this could evolve. It just depends on how people like it. I mean, if there's a sufficiently big player base that allows for a sustainable development of that platform, I'm more than happy to build it. Otherwise, it's just not possible to afford. That would be sad. I promised that I'd, like, for those people who enjoy the game, that I'd give the opportunity to keep playing it, maybe by releasing the source code, or yeah, probably by releasing the source code. Oh, we have that element in it again. Not anymore. So also after the official service or my support ends, I want people to be able to keep playing if they want. I don't know if there's going to be a community that supports it, but technically I want to open source it, or yeah, somehow make it available after the like commercial phase. I think that's something that makes sense to have, because like I said, it's a bit of a like, do you say hard project in English? I don't know. So I want to make people able to enjoy the game also, if like the servers were to be shut off at some point for the daily level and whatnot. So I'll give the community all the tools they need to keep supporting the game. If somebody finds him herself themselves yeah, inspired. Ah, that's a nice element that we haven't seen, I think. That turning little, yeah, bar over there on the right. That's nice. Oh, there also, by the way, that's something I haven't mentioned. Like, you see that cross that we just passed? There are not only runtime scripts, but there are also init scripts. So when the blocks are initialized, there can be some random elements that are fixed during the run, but random for each run. So we can have the position of that cross that changes, and that relies on the seed that's stored with the, yeah, the stored track, or the level code actually. So you can have a random but fixed state of the game. So I think this is going to be like the last run I'm doing. If you want to support me, support the game, if you want to follow the updates, if you want to get a notification when it's released, please wishlist the game or follow the updates. Ideally, wishlist it because that helps the visibility in the store. Tell your friends who may be into this kind of game about it. I have a great level editor if you're into building your own challenges or sharing that with other people. There's Lua coding for the animated elements. There's a lot to learn or to try. Okay, I'm going to do another one, but there's a lot to try out. There's a lot of possibilities, many possibilities that how you can yeah, build stuff for the game if you like. And I'm happy to help you out with how to do that and provide tutorials and everything. Okay, so I don't know how to finish a Steam stream. On Twitch, I have my fixed way of saying goodbye to viewers. I don't know how I'll do that here. Let me just improvise something. Oops. It's been a pleasure streaming with you, for you. I hope you have been entertained. You have a better idea of the game itself now. Yeah, get back tomorrow if you like, because tomorrow I want to do another stream. Like I said, I'll probably have the challenge mode set for me at least then, and we'll see how far I get with that. try out the demo. I don't know how long I'll leave it online after the event. I don't know. It will be online for some days, maybe. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. But ideally, to be sure, it'll still be available. Try it out until tomorrow. Then you definitely have the chance. I don't know about afterwards. Like I said, tell your friends about the game. Wishlist it to support me, to support the game, to support the community. Join the Discord server. Check it out. You can even build your own levels if you go to the folder of the download in Steam and look for, I think it's called editor, and there's a dedicated exe file that launches the editor. You can't save probably because it's not really supported in the demo, but it's included. But you can copy the level elements. There's on the upper left corner of that screen, there's a export button, and then you can copy JSON. And if you send me that, I'll be able to retrieve the elements. That being said, have a great evening or a great day wherever you are. I thank you a lot for your attention. Looking forward to maybe seeing you again tomorrow or in some other stream or on some other social media platform. Feel free to ping me wherever you find my profile, Andarian Games, or Andarian Live on Twitch. Yeah, looking forward to maybe hearing from you. It's been a pleasure. Take care and goodbye.